Hello and welcome to Project 380. Today is the day where I'm finally going to put a turbo on the car. You're probably all wondering what turbo I've picked.
Probably picked a TD04 like all other Mazdas do.
Wrong. This is a GT3582 anti-surge turbo. Yes, it's a cheap turbo, but it's from Germany, so it should last a little bit longer, hopefully. I chose this for many reasons. One, it fits my manifold. It's got a T3 flange. It's got a 3-inch dump, which I wanted a 3-inch exhaust all the way through, and it's got a 2.5-inch cold side outlet, so I wanted to go 2.5-inch intercooler pipe. Another reason I chose this is because it doesn't have a wastegate. I did want to, from the start, always go external wastegate. The reason I went for a cheaper turbo is because I didn't want to spend a grand and a half on a turbo and then wasn't happy with it. I wanted to trial whether this would spool in the right rev range I wanted, or whether it was going to make the power I wanted. So in the future, if I was happy with this particular setup of turbo, I could then go and spend a grand and a half on a decent ball bearing turbo. This one actually has a floating bearing, so it does rely on oil pressure to keep the turbine spinning concentric. If this does blow up, I also chose this so you don't have to. Today we're also going to be fitting an intercooler. This is a 27x7 by 2.5 intercooler. So it's got 2.5 inlet and outlet, perfect for what I want. Why do we need an intercooler? Because the turbo creates hot air and the intercooler cools that air down. Cooler air makes denser air, which means there's more air molecules in it. The more air molecules equals more fuel equals bigger bang. Let's get fitting it. So this is only a temporary fit for the turbo, so we're not going to be using any gaskets or sealant, Loctite, anything like that at the minute. We're just putting it on just so I can route my intercooler pipe before taking the engine out. The next step gets a little bit messy, but we need to move the power steering pipe out of the way for the intercooler. So just remove it off the top here. That's a 17mm. Take this bracket off. Drop your bracket in the oil. Now you usually don't have to do this part, but because my turbo is coming out down here, I'm going to have to rework this pipe, so I'm going to take it off. I'm also going to have to reroute this coolant hose here, so we're going to take that off as well. We're going to start off by draining the coolant, but as you can see, I completely messed up my coolant bung. So we're going to take the lower rad hose off. This way is messier, so make sure you got your bucket close. It's
absolutely everywhere. Once you've cleared up the mess you've just made, you can come and drain the oil. So I'm going to remove my oil cooler. I'm going to have to move it to a different place as the intercooler needs to go here. I think I want the intercooler to sit roughly like that at a little angle. I think the easiest thing for me to do is to make a bar that goes along here. That's where the old aircon radiator would have gone in. So now I've got my bar made, I need to make a little angled bracket to come off of here so I can bolt the intercooler down in the bottom. Time to see whether it fits. Okay, I need to find different bolts, but it does fit. Time to make the top one. I've made up the top brackets, so they're going to have to go on first. Nice and secure. Now we can make the intercooler pipes. My aim for my intercooler pipe is to come off of the turbo, down, underneath the chassis rail, underneath the anti-roll bar, into the intercooler, out of the intercooler, underneath the anti-roll bar, up this side of the anti-roll bar and into the throttle body. You're probably asking yourself, why have we put the Skunk 2 inlet manifold on now rather than when the engine is ready to go back in? The reason being is that the position of the throttle body actually is different. The old one sat about here, and this is going to affect the routing of where my intercooler piping goes. Here's a little side-by-side shot for you. So this is the cold side of the intercooler. Intercooler there, flows up to the throttle body. That is a 2 3/4 to a 2.5 reducing 90-degree elbow. Purchased that off of eBay. It was about £12. But this is the DIY intercooler piping kit. Chose this for a few reasons. There are no bead rolled edges, so it's nice and easy to cut lengths off without that interfering with anything. It comes with the 90-degree elbows, which we're going to use 2 of those, and the short couplers. I'm not going to use those, but they are handy for mocking up the pipe. So I've cut everything I need to do, and I've made sure that it doesn't hit the chassis, it clears all the lines, and once I'm happy with where it all sits, I'm simply going to take the coupler out, butt it back up in the car, make sure that's nice and flush together, grab a Sharpie and draw a couple of lines where it needs to go. If you can in the car, do this next step in the car, but most of this I'll have to do out of it. That's why we're putting the lines on. But once it's out of the car, just grab a bit of tape and tape them together. And I'll do the same with this bit. And once I'm happy with that, I'll take a small section of tape away, put a tack weld there, turn it around, do the same to the other side, take a section out, tack weld there, and then once it's all tack weld together, I will put it back up in the car, make sure I can get it in and out of the car as a whole piece, and make sure again that the heat of the tack hasn't moved the pipe, and then I will take it back out and fully weld it. Hello! Now it's all tack welded up, it's time to see whether it still fits. Like a glove. Time to weld her up. Now we know it all fits, we can remove the silicone end and use the bead roller.
I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to split it into two videos as there's quite a lot to cover on the subject of intercooler piping and what goes on around it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe.